Welcome, Dr. C.K. Katiyar, and thank you so much for doing this session with us.
Dear Mr. Rana, thank you very much for giving me opportunity. As you know, Ayurveda is my passion, and I believe that Ayurveda has much more interesting things than what people know. And during the session, I would like to show you only a glimpse of why I am saying what I am saying. Ayurveda is, besides what you know, much more than that.
I'm sure it
And
is. I'm
thank
sure it is. Dr. Saab, that is fantastic. So I will dive directly into certain sets of questions with you, Dr. Saab. My first question is going to be on research. If one thinks about Ayurveda, the very first thing it comes to mind is its ancient wisdom. So what is this? Isn't this a kind of a at odds when we talk about ancient wisdom and we talk about research? How do the two come together?
That's a very interesting question, and as I told you again, it is very little known aspect of Ayurveda. Ayurveda literally means knowledge of life or science of life. It has evolved through extensive research of thousands of years, actually speaking. In fact, the most ancient book of Ayurveda, Charak Samhita, which was written almost 3000 years ago, it starts from a conference of more than 50 sages to discuss issues of health of human beings. Such conferences were very common about 3000 years ago, and deliberations were chaired by one of the most enlightened person, like today's scientific seminars where there is one chairman, one moderator, and somebody writes the thing like that.
Sure.
And before documentation or written tradition, Ayurveda has undergone four essential steps of rigorous examination and evaluation. You can call it research also. What are they? One is Anuman, second is Pratyaksh, third is Praman, and fourth is Aptopadesh. These four. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Anuman means guess by observation. For example, appearance of smoke indicates presence of fire.
Right.
Second is Pratyaksha. If it is fire, then somebody actually goes and directly observes, yes, there is a fire.
Right.
And somebody physically sees that smoke is actually coming from the location and source of fire. This
Right.
leads to the evidence or what is called praman or evidence that there is smoke. So now they will say where there is smoke, there is fire. And once these are settled, then comes Aptopadesh, the final word. It gets its place in Ayurvedic lexicon only after passing these four essential stages. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not aware of this process, and that is why they doubt its robustness out of ignorance. Once several sages from throughout India congregated at one place and
Right.
shared their experiences, then it became the word of wisdom and become eligible to enter the ancient text. It is probably due to this robust process of observational research spanning over centuries that there are no recorded medical U-turns in Ayurveda.
Wow.
While in case of modern medicine, there are many.
Hmm.
However, since a lot of water has flown down the rivers, soil, weather, physique, lifestyles all have changed
Right.
during thousands of years. Then what was mentioned in those times may not be valid today. Therefore, there is need for validation of Ayurvedic principles and products by
Right.
today's contemporary research. So,
Hmm.
what was said was also research based. However, since thousands of years have passed, things have changed. Certainly, there is some kind of validation required, but this validation may not be exactly on the same parameter dictated by modern science.
Right. Right. Right.
Right. So that's my view. And coming to the efforts, I will say that Government of India has established Central Council for Research in Ayurveda Siddha in 1970 or 71, followed by establishment of similar council for Unani and homeopathy for the same purpose. As on today, lot of research is happening, not only these councils but also institutions of excellence like Banaras Hindu University, Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar, or India Institute of Ayurveda, New Delhi. This is Ayurvedic Institute. Besides that, other institutions like Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, Naipur, Mohali, etc. Lot of institutions are currently involved in academic research on Ayurvedic products or processes. Now, Ayurvedic products do undergo preclinical, including toxicity and pharmacological studies also. Besides clinical trials, as per the regulatory requirement, mandatory under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Chapter 4A before granting licenses. So it is wrong that Ayurvedic medicines are given license just as such without any studies. However, as Dr. Mashelkar said about a decade ago, in case of modern medicine, the research to be conducted should be on mouse to man approach. But in case of Ayurveda, it should be meant to mouse approach, just reverse. It is also called reverse pharmacology. Therefore, while the research is ongoing process, the approach of research for Ayurveda needs to be appropriately defined, adapted, and followed, as one size does not fit all. That's what my answer to your first set of questions.
Right. It is interesting, Doctor, that you've talked it in two aspects. One is about the fact that there was research was already always happening, but those times were different. So the methodology of research was along those times. And Ayurveda has kind of adapted and adopted the new processes of post the medicalization of science. The more thing that is evident today, whatever is being followed by the other sciences is also being followed by Ayurveda. That's very interesting. Dr. Saab, as a segue of this is that in the event so much of research is happening, what is the area of research in Ayurveda in the last maybe couple of decades or going forward right
Okay.
now? What is the focus on?
So I will share as the result of research in the last 3 to 4 decades.
Okay.
Certain categories or therapeutic areas have become totally dominated by Ayurvedic products.
Okay.
What are these? For example, menstrual cycle disorders in women,
Okay.
liver problems,
Mm-hmm.
digestion related problems,
Mm-hmm.
memory enhancers,
Mm-hmm.
anti stress product,
Mm-hmm.
chronic joint pain products, all the chronic lifestyle related diseases,
Mm-hmm.
even the things like galactogogues to enhance breast milk secretion, and today most commonly used the immunity. All
Mm-hmm.
these are the strength areas of Ayurveda based upon the researches. This has been possible only because of the researches conducted either by the research and academic institutions or by the industry. Talking about the important research-based products, for example, if you wish to know, ashwagandha is internationally known product from India now for anti-stress, and its initial research was conducted at Banaras Hindu University.
Mm-hmm.
Giloy as immunomodulator, which created lot of waves during pandemic, was researched initially by KEM Hospital in Mumbai by Dr. Dhanukar.
Mm-hmm.
Brahmi as memory enhancer, Putki for liver, Gugulu to liver cholesterol as research contributions from the CSIR, Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow.
Mm-hmm.
Bophilia for joint pain is the contribution of its CSIR, Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, Jammu. And these are the ingredients, but a very few ingredients I'm telling you. These are the globally known and one of the top 50 selling extracts throughout the world from India, besides being used in Indian condition. If you look at the research-based repositioning, this was the products. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at the repositioning, ancient classical products of Ayurveda like Chavanprash
Mm-hmm.
was positioned from earlier family tonic to
Right.
immunomodulator. It was
Correct.
based on the thorough research. Ashoka Rist is a generic product which was positioned for dysmenorrhea, basis the research. If you look at the proprietary products, a story will remain incomplete without mentioning products like Live 52 for liver, Satavarex for boosting milk secretion for women, or even recently IU 64 as add-on therapy during COVID pandemic by the Ministry of Ayush.
Mm-hmm.
Besides all this, one very important research happened at Banaras Hindu University long ago on application of ancient surgical technique of Ayurveda called Chara Sutra for anorectal diseases like piles, fissure, and fistula. You will
Right.
be surprised to know that anorectal disease treatment of Ayurveda has developed as a super specialty in itself, leading to multiple hospitals dedicated to this specialty in Gujarat, in Maharashtra. You will find 50-bedded hospitals here only anorectal diseases with Shar Sutra has been treated. Thus, spectrum of research in Ayurveda is quite wide and
Right.
covers efficacy,
Mhm.
safety, and quality of products, which are also recommended by WHO if we talk in terms of research in today's contemporary language.